the question on everyone's lips is really, in what practical way can really astrology help us?
Well, it's just like if you want to go on a journey, and life is like a journey, then it's helpful to have a map, because that will give you an indication of the kind of things you're going to pass on your journey. So an astrological chart is like a map of the influences that are most affecting your life, and particularly in Vedic astrology, because they have a very sophisticated system of prediction. It can tell you the kind of influence that's going to affect you at different times in your life. So if you're aware of those influences, then you can take advantage of them, just as a sailor would take advantage of fortunate winds, helpful winds, and would be aware of the rough waters. So being forewarned is to be forearmed. So that's the basic advantage of having some understanding of astrology. But it's the kind of thing that every intelligent person should know a little something about. Just like in our modern Western culture, everybody has to know a little something about how a computer works or how a car works, because that's part of our culture. And knowing something about that, about the mechanics of a car or something a little bit about computers, helps you to exist in that world. So to help us exist in the cosmic world, we ought to know a little bit something about things that influence us on a daily basis and over the course of our lives. And astrology is about that. It's about knowing when and where and how the influences are going to affect us and how to deal with them. For some people, if there's a particular planetary configuration in their chart that is going to cause difficulties at a certain time, then there are certain ways you can do it. You can use gems, which correspond to planets, and that can help to modify or lessen the effects, or to increase the effect according to the effect that you want to get. Or there are mantras that you can chant and so on. There's so many different ways that having a little bit of understanding can help you to deal with a problem. Just like understanding a little bit about mechanics can help you if there's a problem with your car or your computer.
That's about the predictive and to do with when things are going to happen. But what about how does astrology can tell us literally about who we are, what are our qualities, and can it explain the psychological tendencies?
It can explain lots of things, yes.
Give us what are the various things that it can explain?
Well, by looking at an astrological chart, you can tell things about the person's character, personality, and planets will symbolise different aspects of personality, whether it's extrovert or introvert kind of person, whether they're inclined to be competitive or to be well known or to be musical and so on. There's all these different things you can tell by understanding the symbolism of the planets as they're represented in that particular chart. Other things you can understand, if you have a deeper understanding, particularly of Vedic astrology, are things like the kind of people you're going to come into contact with, what kind of children you will have, what kind of... So, in the Vedic literature, of which Vedic astrology is a significant part, this part of the Vedic science is called the Karma Kanda section, which is to do with the ordinary affairs of daily life. Love, marriage, business, society, friendship, family, and so on. And these are fairly mundane things. These are things that people want to know about. But ultimately, the higher perspective is to see oneself in relationship to the cosmos and to understand how to make the best of this particular map, this particular package, this particular journey, so that you can make progress in the greater scheme of things, which is ultimately to have an understanding of your spiritual nature or your eternal nature. And that is the context, that is the philosophical context in which astrology has significance and has meaning. Otherwise, it is just a mundane study.
How does in astrology resolve? Because some people think that astrology is we're all kind of reduced to a kind of very fatalistic